Hey guys, welcome back to the Hess Project. I'm John Ortolaza, and we're here to talk about Cobra Kai Season 3 that hit Netflix a whole week early than it was supposed to. A nice 2021 surprise and a nice gift to say F you to 2020. Let's talk about the new season, everyone. So Cobra Kai Season 3 picks up about a few weeks after the events of Season 2 finale, with the whole high school brawl between Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai, fighting this overarching battle between Johnny and Daniel, fueled by John Kreese, who now is the owner of Cobra Kai. He basically turned all of the kids against Johnny. He made them think that it's Johnny's fault that Miguel is in the hospital right now and could be paralyzed, which is... It's backwards, it's not exactly what happened, but, he's making him spin some things. He's like, look, whatever he started teaching you guys after that tournament Miguel won is a little rocky, so I'm going to put you guys on the right path because you're my soldiers. And that's another really cool thing about this show. You see a lot of more depth into characters we've never seen before. Specifically, I'm talking about John Kreese when he was a soldier back in Vietnam. It was very interesting. We saw a few flashbacks throughout the show. We slowly see where John Kreese is coming from. He's got this really battle-hardened commander that's just really nasty, whipping him into shape. And they're obviously learning karate over there because that's important in war, right? So right out of the gate, I could totally see where John Kreese is coming from, with this battle-hardened commander talking about war and whatnot. He's influencing John Kreese, but there is a little bit of trauma in there for John Kreese, I believe. He's transferring that trauma from the war and almost copying and pasting it into this scenario. He's turning kids younger than me in their teens into soldiers of war, of dueling karate dojos. This season is insane, and I'm gonna try my best to not go into spoilers. I don't know if I should. Should I talk about spoilers? It has been a couple of days. I'm gonna talk about spoilers. Yeah. Real quick, I have to mention this finale, which was another dope finale. I'm debating whether or not if it rivals the high school fight, if it's better than it or not. I don't know yet, but John Kreese sends Cobra Kai as hitmen to Miyagi-Do. Let me clarify. They did not just walk right into the backyard of Miyagi-Do and start beating them up. No, they properly broke into the windows of Daniel LaRusso's house, where Miguel was, Sam LaRusso was, the rest of Miyagi-Do, and then Johnny Lawrence's new karate dojo type Eagle Fang, oh my lord. What a terrible name. In this episode, we see Miyagi-Do and Johnny Lawrence's new thing, Eagle Fang. We see those people, which were the Cobra Kai offsprings. They're meeting together. It's the kids this time. The kids are talking together and trying to make the situation better because they're trying to be the better men, I guess. They know the history. They know how their teachers are. So they know they're not going to resolve it that easily. You need the influence of their kids, the ones that they're teaching, the ones that they're influencing, and especially in the last two seasons, you need their voices to be heard. And that's what Sam and Miguel were trying to do in that last episode. They were trying to bring them all together, discuss, we need to team up to take on Cobra Kai because they're getting out of control, guys. Just like right now, look, they're breaking into the windows. Oh my god, they surrounded them all. They started beating them down. It was just like the high school fight, but in a more claustrophobic, more personal location, which it's miraculous that nobody got the cops called on them because everyone from Cobra Kai should be arrested at this point. Everyone should just be thrown in the same cell as Robbie. Come on, it's a little ridiculous at this point. Let's talk about Robbie real quick. I wasn't the biggest fan of Robbie's character in this season. I'm not the biggest fan of Robbie, period. I didn't really care about him much in the first season. He was alright, he was fine. He was getting more likable towards the end of the season when he was training with Daniel and he became basically this new iteration of the Karate Kid. And then he just freaking drop kicks Miguel off the balcony and almost paralyzes him. At that point, I'm like, I don't know if I like you anymore. I mean, I was trying to justify it, in the heat of the moment. He's got a little bit of Johnny in him, a little bit of the young Johnny Lawrence in him, and maybe just in the heat of the moment, he just went for it. Maybe they have freaking Robbie Keane approach John Kreese. He was like, Mr. Kreese? And then that episode ends, Holy crap. I'm like, oh god, that's not good. But back to it, I didn't really care about Robbie in this season. In this particular season. In theory, I like where his character has come from and where it's going. But in this season, he wasn't used very much. He wasn't used properly, I thought. He came across as just a downer every time you saw him on screen. He was just upset and he was just angry. He kind of has that Anakin Skywalker attitude where, it's very depressing in my opinion, and I just wasn't into his character this season, unfortunately. But everyone else I thought went in the direction I thought was really smart for the show to take them. I thought Miguel beating his surgery, beating his injuries was really cool and really inspiring to see. Sam LaRusso is slightly being more likable. I've rewatched seasons 1 and 2 a couple of times, so I've started to see that she can be slightly unlikable at times, but I kind of like where she's going. She's kind of taking initiative, and she's kind of molding herself into a more brave and stronger individual. And we see her deal with the trauma of her high school fight with Tori. She really is afraid of Tori, and it's kind of reminiscent to how Daniel was afraid of Mike Barnes in The Karate Kid Part 3. It's very reminiscent towards that. I really appreciate the parallels that Cobra Kai has to the original films. It's really interesting to see those parallels play out and which characters are being molded after a certain character from the old films in this episode. It's just really fun. I really enjoy that kind of stuff. We also had some surprises in this. I mean, we knew some of these were going to happen, and of course the trailer showed Chosen from The Karate Kid Part 2, and in my opinion, that's one of my least favorite ones. Definitely better than the next Karate Kid, that's for sure. But in my opinion, it was a little slow, that movie. However, I liked where they brought Chosen and what they did with Chosen in this show. They brought him into this show to show not only, oh, it's just nostalgia. No, there's purpose behind Chosen being here. He is not just a nostalgia trip. He is here to show that even your greatest enemies back in the day can change, can grow, and transform into something more than just the mindless, naive thinking that they had back in the day. There's more to just one mindset. Of course, with the proper healing. And I personally don't think Johnny Lawrence and Daniel LaRusso have had the proper healing. Henceforth, why their rivalry, spanning almost 40 years now, is still hot. That's the cool thing about it. They haven't had the proper time to heal. But Chosen is no longer hateful towards Daniel LaRusso or Mr. Miyagi. He's grown from threatening this girl from The Karate Kid Part 2, which she's also in this season. And it's just really cool. I like the life lessons that he teaches Daniel. Your enemy at one point is now giving you life lessons. That's just cool to me. I kind of appreciate that. I appreciate there's more to this show. There's more to this idea of rivalries as opposed to just black and white, good side, bad side, rebellion, empire. There's more to it. The other surprise, the biggest one that I personally adored, was the return of Elizabeth Shue as Allie Mills, not Schwarber. She divorced her husband that we never saw, never cared about to begin with. And she's now reuniting with Johnny at lunch. And it's just really nice. It's really awesome. I adored the absolute hell out of Allie Mills in the original. I personally thought they were going to take the worst routes for all of those storylines to play out. The typical Hollywood tropes of dating his student's mom, and maybe Miguel gets mad about it, flips out, freaking joins Miyagi-Do over it. He's like, screw this, man. I'm done with your Eagle Fang Cobra Kai bullcrap. It could have gone down a soap opera, disgusting waterfall of garbage, but thankfully they didn't. They did the reunion between Johnny and Allie and even Daniel later on in the last episode. They did it all so great. I appreciated the hell out of it, man. Just the way that they showed maturity in these characters. How they didn't just snap back into their 1984 selves. They just realized we're in a different place now. And we've gone through different experiences and we've met different people. Johnny has met Miguel's mom. This season teases Johnny and Daniel teaming up a little bit in the very beginning, but then you see it immediately just fall over its head within 30 seconds. And you're like, yeah, this isn't gonna work. And then they just split apart for like the whole season basically until towards the end. And it was just really cool. I really appreciated the continuation of their rivalry and just adding more layers to it. But it's going in a direction that I didn't expect it to go. I heard people theorizing it would go in this route, but I was refusing to believe it because I couldn't possibly think how I would do it. But they did it. Johnny and Daniel are teaming up at the end of this. Eagle Fang, Miyagi-Do, they're all training together now, and they're going to take on Cobra Kai, John Kreese's Cobra Kai. And at the end of this season, we see John Kreese making a phone call, and there's no way that is not Terry Silver. Regardless of how cheesy I said The Karate Kid Part 3 is, John Kreese and Terry Silver were the best parts of that movie. And the idea of him coming into the show and helping John Kreese once again, I'm in. I'm in. Terry Silver and Johnny Lawrence meeting for the first time, that's going to be awesome. Again, it's not confirmed, but it's happening. It's happening, guys. It's happening. Unless he's talking to, like, you know, the crazy psychopath that was trying to kill Hilary Swank. I watched the whole thing in 5 hours when I could have digested this whole thing and we all could have been talking about it for over 2 months, for 10 weeks. But instead, we're probably going to stop talking about Cobra Kai Season 3 in 2 weeks. And that's just the reality, guys. That's the God honest truth. Guys, let me know down below in the comment section, what did you think of Cobra Kai Season 3? Are you a fan of the show? Are you the fan of the films? Watch it all, guys. Again, just watch the first film and then go right to the show. You can watch the second and third because Daniel's in it, but you don't have to. That's what I'm saying. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and be sure to stick around. I'm going to be doing a bunch of movie reviews, and we got WandaVision coming up January 15th. I'm going to be following that, and then we're just going to get caught right into the Disney Plus string of content in 2021. It's going to be pretty packed here at the Has Project, so be sure to stick around because there's more to come.